Today, our guest of honor, our guest is the Chief General Manager of State Bank of India. And as I know him closely, he's a no-nonsense man. He's a man for the occasion, the right man for Kerala today. You go with him, you go with a problem to him, you are definite to find a solution. You take my word for it. You take my word for granted. Yeah, and he will be accompanied by his senior officials that he will be introducing them shortly. And we have our own, our finance guru, Mr. Mehboob, Treasurer of Kredai Kerala and Managing Director of Secura Properties, who will be the moderator for the day. Well, let me just put across a few points. Now, as you know, there has been a recent announcement by the Finance Minister regarding it's a 20 trillion package. But as far as we are concerned, 80% of builders across the country, or maybe 90% Kerala builders will fall in the new definition of the MSME. That is, it can go up to 100. Now, there was an announcement by Mr. Nitin Gadkari that they'll take it up to 200 crores. I think there are a mixed bag. I think a bouquet of products and services for banks to offer this season for SMEs. And the interest is our major factor. I mean, one factor that we'll all be looking forward to is the interest. And we all know the disruptions in the real estate field, whether it is a supply chain or whether it is a migrant workers, and more importantly, money coming from the buyers. And we will be hearing from Mr. Das regarding how far down he can go. Because even yesterday I was having a session where he was a major speaker. I asked him the same question. When LIBOR, that is the lender interbank exchange rate, is 0 to 1%, the repo rate with the RBI is 4%. That is, the RBI gives banks at 4%. The banks put back money with the RBI at 3.5%, the reverse repo. And the SARFAESI Act being fully loaded in favor of the banks, why can't banks bring down the cost of funds? Why can't banks bring down the cost of funds to something like 5 to 7% for the home buyer, and maybe 1 or 2% higher for the developer? I mean, we would hear all this from the CGM today. And last but not the least, we missed him during the StateCon this year. And you know that pre-COVID, it was a totally different world order. And post-COVID, the world order could definitely be either innovate or perish. And I look forward to the CGM of SBI to maybe we can jointly have an SBI Kredai StateCon in the post-COVID era, whether a vaccine or a drug comes through or not. With these few words, I hand over to our moderator, Mr. Mehboob, and thanking Mr. Das for his gracious presence. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar. Very good afternoon to all. I welcome Sri Nagendralal Das, Chief General Manager of State Bank of India. We have with us GMs from State Bank of India, Mr. Parthasarathi Partha, Ms. Ruma Dey, Arvind Gupta, DGM Mr. Sadish, and other officials of the State Bank of India for these discussions. I also welcome Mr. Krishna Kumar, the Chairman, who gave the introduction, and Mr. Anthony, Secretary General of Kredai, and all members and other associates of member companies for this Zoom meeting. At the outset, I thank Mr. Das for accepting our invitation and being for a meeting today, especially in the current scenario. We are all looking for how to tackle the liquidity crisis. Kerala real estate market is predominantly driven by the purchase from non-resident Indians across the globe. It's around 65 to 70 countries. People from 65 to 70 countries normally invest in our projects. And the problem what we are facing now today is most of these major countries out of these, they are not in a stable position due to the pandemic and also the travel restrictions. The travel restrictions actually delays the purchase decisions.
Yes.
Even though we can present the projects through online media, whatever said and done, a lot of people are waiting to come and see the projects, meet the people. During the difficult period, Kerala government has done a very good job, which actually improved the Kerala image. And we are all certainly waiting to see the result out of that also. NRIs will prefer a home in Kerala. And ultimately that will bring some new market or some trust to our sales also. Another key change from the past and the present condition, the people who are looking for ready to occupy or the final stage of construction projects are increasing day by day. All these factors actually necessitated us to look for some gap funding in the initial phase of projects. And in that scenario, today's meeting with the State Bank of India, CGM and other officials is very crucial. To tide over this liquidity issue, to take the projects on time and ready when the markets are up and flourishing, we need a lot of support from State Bank of India, being the major bank in Kerala. We expect a lot of support for the builder community from the State Bank of India. As of now, banks' deposit lending ratio is very much in favor of deposits. Out of 1.6 lakhs crore deposits State Bank have in Kerala, the loan books is already only around 70 crore, 70 lakhs crore. And we certainly help you, sir, to improve the loan disbursements, and we will bring good projects to you also. To start with, I request CGM and the State Bank team to explain the available facilities for builders like builder finance, asset-backed loans for housing projects, asset-backed loan for commercial projects, and the new scheme SBI lately introduced that which gives a guarantee to the buyer also about the completion, and whatever other schemes which you think is beneficial for the builder community in Kerala. Along with that, I have few requests also about the products. Currently, we are not getting cash credit loans for builders. We would like to have cash credit permanent limits like any other industry. And I request CGM to explain that if there is any way out to get cash credit limits for real estate developers. After the implementation of RERA, there is another peculiar issue we are facing. Basically, builders with multiple projects, they may be having surplus in so many projects, and they need some funding for maybe one or two projects. we cannot cross-utilize the funds after the RERA implementation. We request the State Bank of India to consider the average balances what we keep in our RERA accounts for fixing the interest for the other loans and give us some benefit out of the funds which we keep in RERA accounts by way of some credit rating system or some other way, which in fact, those who are keeping funds with you should get some benefit directly or indirectly by way of interest reduction or some other way. The opening notes, I request Sri ML Das, Chief General Manager of State Bank of India, is 35 years experience with State Bank of India, various capacities, starting from the professional officer to Chief General Manager, very vast experience in all the spectrum of banking. And we expect a lot of, like Mr. Chairman Krishna Kumar mentioned in opening remarks, we expect a lot of support and guidance from your side. I request you to start your presentation, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Mahbub, Mr. Krishna Kumar, the other builders in the state of Kerala. First of all, I place on record my sincere thanks to all of you for organizing this VC through which we can connect with each other. In the time of COVID pandemic, I think it is very essential that we stay connected, if not physically, at least online. And I must thank all of you for giving me this opportunity, and we are online today. Mr. Krishna Kumar has said a lot of good things about me. Please don't believe him, because he is a friend of mine, and being a friend, it takes compulsions to say good things about me. But thanks once again to Mr. Krishna Kumar for saying something good about me. As you know, this CREDAI, we are very closely associated with CREDAI. The reason being that we are the largest home loan provider in the state of India, as well as in the state of Kerala. All India level, we have 4,60,000 crores of exposure to the home loan as of now. In Kerala state also, we are the largest home loan provider. Our level is 27,865 crore of home loan as of now. And if you see the disbursement, last year alone, we disbursed around 5,000 crore of home loan in Kerala, in the state of Kerala. I think most of you will be aware about the developments about the home loan, because initially State Bank of India was not into the home loan at all. It was only when Mr. O.P. Bhatt became the chairman and he said that let's enter this arena, because till that time there was SBI Home Finance who was doing this. But Mr. O.P. Bhatt took the initiative. He said that we should get into this business, home loan business. And so we started there. So initially when he said that we should have some 100 crores of home loan, our people in the State Bank were dotted with 100 crores we can finance in 1 year. But he had a vision. He said, yes, we can do it, and we have a large network. People have trust on us, and trust is very, very essential for the home loan, because people buy it one house for the whole life. So definitely he is looking for some place where he can have the trust that, yes, if I take home loan from him, he will take care of us. And we started that, and that's how the journey has started. And initially the SDFC was telling that O.P. Bhatt that even if you start, I think you will be a beginner only in this way. You will not be able to take past us. But slowly we build up in that, and because people has a lot of trust in the State Bank of India, the people prefer the State Bank of India. Even now you see that the home loan we give, a number of home loan we reject, which other banks are giving. And the reason for rejection is very, very simple, because anywhere if you have title related issues or some other issues, we will not enter with that builder. So it so happened that a number of places we have lost a lot of business because the title was not clear, builder was ready, builder was going ahead, prime project, very prime site, but a State Bank is not there. Because we said we will not associate with any such project, but the title defect is there. I'll narrate one small story that when I was in Jamshedpur, that time one project was coming up there, and the DC of Jamshedpur, he was a friend of mine. He told me that my brother wants a loan, can you help him? Because the bank is not giving the home loan. So I talked to RSCPC, and RSCPC Jamshedpur said that the title is defective. So that is why we are not into the project. So I told him that I will not be into the project because bank has a clear-cut policy on that. So I will not interfere in that. And he was very angry. He said, I'll shift all my government deposits from the State Bank of India. I'll take to some other banks if you're not helping. But I had even from, I said, nothing doing. We can't compromise on that. Okay. And he took loan from some other banks, some private sector banks. And after 12 years, when I moved on to Mumbai, that time one day he gave me a ring and he told me that the authorities in Jamshedpur have decided to demolish that project, that apartment, because the title is on a tribal land which was taken, a building was created on a tribal land, and so it's a illegal land and they have demolished that flat. And that day he told me that initially I was abusing you, being a friend of mine, you're not helping me. I was abusing you that time, but now I know that even if I don't need a loan, I have enough money to buy a house, I don't need a loan. But just for the sake of verification of title deeds, I'll take a loan of 1 lakh rupees from the State Bank of India. Because the State Bank of India does a thorough title deed verification, and only after satisfaction, they will give a loan to somebody. And that policy we practice even today. We are very, very sincere about the verification of title deeds, that it should be in order. And what we feel in the State Bank of India is that the people's trust is associated with the State Bank of India. So even if you lose a business, it doesn't matter, but we should not lose the trust of the people. And that is why even today you will find that the customers always want to go to a State Bank of India. It is some of the builders who advise him that if you go to a State Bank of India, it will take 1 month. If you go to some private sector banks, you'll get in 10 days. Now you decide where you would like to. And still, I think number of customers insist that I want to loan from a State Bank of India only. Fortunately, we have created a system in the State Bank of India. We have 27 RSCPCs and centralized process centers at various places in the state of Kerala. We have around 1,200 branches here. And we are the market leaders so far as the home loan is concerned within the Kerala. And these processing centers are well established now. We have ensured that the business, whichever is coming, is getting processed fast. Rather, we are saying that if your project is already approved, then it should not take more than 2 to 3 days time to give you a loan. Other places, what happens is, it takes time because you count the day from which you have given the papers. But if paper is not complete, then a bank cannot proceed ahead. The RSCPC needs to have the papers, entire papers, to process that loan. So there is a delay. I won't say there is not a delay. There is a delay in that. So what we have done is, if we are approving a project and then generating the loan out of that project, it can happen in 2 to 3 days time. We can give a sanction. And that we are propagating in a large way. Coming back to this rate of interest, you already know that home loan interest rate is the lowest from the State Bank of India right now. 7.35% rate of interest. I think that's the lowest in the industry. No other bank is giving this. So this is the lowest that we are giving. And we have a very elaborate arrangement of CPCs through which all these processing are done. We have also revamped the marketing teams Ernakulam, we have placed an AGM there. Thiruvananthapuram, we have placed a chief manager. And similarly, other places also, we have an elaborate marketing team who will take care of the home loan marketing. But what we require is the favor from the builders, because you are the people who decide from where the customers will take them. And that is why I think that if both of us can join hands, definitely it is the gain for the customers of Kerala, because he'll be getting a good house, he'll be getting a loan at the cheapest rate and at a convenient way. Right now, because of this pandemic, the things have come to a standstill. Construction work has stopped, and the sagging economy which is there in the state of Kerala has to be revamped. And I think it is the builders who can really contribute towards the development of economy in the state of Kerala. If you remember, in 2008 subprime crisis time, it was the State Bank of India who revived the economy by giving home loans to a large number of customers. Because what happens is, if you start giving the home loans, the construction activity increases. With the construction activity, the requirement for cement, sand, this bricks, all other activities increases. And with that, the entire economy gets a boost. So that is why I think the builders are a very, very important community who can contribute towards the revival of economy in the state of Kerala. We are giving a housing loan. Apart from housing loan, we also give a top-up loan. Top-up loan would mean that if you have already taken a home loan from a State Bank of India and you have further requirements, the bank can give you the loan for your further requirements, and the bank will not ask you for what purpose you need this loan. The bank will simply give you the loan, and you can incur that wherever you want. You can spend that money. Okay. We also have asset-backed loan, which we give if we have assets. On that basis, we give the loans. Okay. Regarding the builders, we already have a builders finance available with us. Loans for the builders we are giving, and Mr. Mahbub was asking that whether we can give it in the cascade form or not. It is available in the cascade form also. We can also give a cascade. Actually, what happens is that whenever the project you take up, okay, 50% of the peak value of the project limit, that is the limit we are fixing. If you want a cascade, we can give you a cascade for 3 years. And after that period, it will be converted into a term loan. So even that can be done. Another method which we adopt is this what you call cash budget method, whereby for a particular period, this loan is given to allow you to complete that project. Okay. We have a lot of products. Only problem we have this max gain scheme. In max gain scheme, if you take a normal home loan, then your installment will be fixed, EMI will be fixed, and your loan will get reduced. You will not get further loan. In max gain, it is in the form of the overdraft facility. Overdraft means you are given a limit, okay, and that limit will get reduced with the passage of time with some certain amount. But within that max gain, if you have some surplus money, you can deposit that. Your interest application will come down. If you don't, if you require funds, you withdraw from there. So it operates like an overdraft facility. That is very good facility if you want a home loan by businessmen, because businessmen have surplus funds a lot of time, and they can keep their surplus funds there to reduce their interest burden, and at the same time utilize the same whenever they need any kind of need. So this is all from my side. What I would require is that we'll go ahead with the question and answer session, or whatever questions you have in mind. I think we'll start that and we'll go ahead with that. But my only submission is that Patronage State Bank of India, this is a bank which is going to come to your rescue. This is a bank which is going to support your business, and it has been supporting 3 years. So with this, Mahbub, we are ready for the question and answer session if somebody has any questions. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for your introductory remarks. First, I think if you can explain the terms and conditions, eligibility criteria, interest rate, security requirements, and all about the builder finance, we can start with that. Builder finance direct scheme and asset-backed loan for residential and commercial supply.
In the case of asset-backed loan, it is basically if you have a land and building, bank will give 60% of the value, realizable value of that property as your asset-backed loan. And that you can use for any purpose that you feel like.
So the projects which are under construction is considered for asset-backed loan, or is there any specific?
No, the project will not be considered. For project, we have a separate scheme, as I told you. That is a builder finance scheme is there, where the project finance we do. But this is if you have a land and building and you want loan from some purpose, okay, you can take that loan as a loan against property. But for project finance, we already have this scheme whereby we finance a particular project. Whatever project we have, on that basis, depending on the project, we finance that.
What is the security criteria for that?
No, your project is the security. We don't need any other thing. Your project is the security. If the land is yours, that becomes banks take some mortgage and get as you are getting from the customers that you are getting money from the customers. That will the one escrow account will be opened, and in that all the escrow amount will come. The funds will come, and from there you can spend wherever you say for construction work. You can start spending from that escrow account. You can operate escrow account and do that.
And interest rate, how best you can help in the interest rate front?
That will depend on person to person and project to project. Depends on the ranking. We do that rating. So it will depend on the rating. I think one by one we will take as the project comes. We'll tell you that also.
Can you tell me approximately in Kerala scenario what would be the tentative rates, not the specific rates, in the range of the 10 to 12 or whatever like that project finance?
I missed your link. Please repeat again what you have said.
Can you give me a range, interest rate range, 10 to 12 or something like that?
Please, 3.05 above the EBLR, it comes to 10.10. 10.10%.
Mehboob,
Yeah.
can I just intervene?
Yeah,
But, it was said in that in the finance minister's statement. I think a part of the statement contained like an MCLR of 9.25, and you may vary it according to the CIBIL score of the applicant.
Hi. Hi, yes, Krishna Kumar, we are awaiting this. Earlier it was meant only for MSME, but now that the finance minister has already increased the scope of MSME, but they have included that. We are waiting for the detailed guidelines. When it comes, yes, we'll implement that also.
And the variation with respect to each applicant is their CIBIL score, is it?
Yeah, CIBIL score. We do a CRA rating based on the rating.
Okay.
And currently, builders are not, anyway, the builder existing loans, MSME, this additional limit is only for the existing customers, or new customers also you will give the benefit of MSME?
No, in fact, recently in the finance minister's statement, she has widened the scope of MSME. Okay, so earlier it was applicable only to MSME, but now I think builder can also come into the MSME criteria as per this recent guidelines. So we are just awaiting the details guideline from the DFS. When it comes, we'll implement that immediately.
And regarding cash credit limit, how you operate that builder cash credit? Can you explain a little more?
Yeah, well, in fact, we evaluate the project first, the peak limit of the project. That what is going to be 50% of the peak limit, we give as a limit for that project. Okay. Because certain customers, immediately when you do the Bhumi Pujan, the customer's contribution starts flowing into that. That booking amount starts coming into that. Okay. So 50% of the total peak limit, peak value limit, that we fix as a limit. And within that, as and when this contribution are coming from the customers, okay, that amount will get reduced and it will be given to you, available to you.
That any time we can avail up to that limit, or we can reduce that also, like regular cash credit.
Depends on the gap. As I told you, 50% of the gap, whatever your total project cost is and whatever the contribution we have taken from the buyers. Okay. So there is a gap about your expenditure. So that gap we finance, 50% of the gap we finance in that. So it will keep variation will keep happening as long as you are getting the contribution from the buyers, home buyers. Okay. And that way it will go on.
Interest rate for that also the same range or a different method?
Come again?
Interest rate for that also the same as builder finance or any variation?
Same as builder finance. Yeah, same as builder finance.
And this partly completed project, is there any scope for asset-backed finance? Asset-backed finance. Partially
please repeat
completed.
your question. In fact, there's a voice
50% completed or something like that.
Your voice is not clear. Can you repeat once again?
Asset-backed finance. Can you consider where the projects are 50% completed and balance work is going on? That kind of the structure is completed, finish started, something like that. In that cases, this asset-backed finance is suitable.
No, asset-backed loan, as I told you, it's a land and building which you are having. So on the land and building, depending on the valuation of that land and building, 60% of that valuation will give you as a limit. Okay, which you can utilize.
Mehboob, can I come in?
Yeah.
There are a lot of questions being asked, and many questions are whether in the asset-backed finance, do you take plain land for giving loans? There are a lot of questions coming up.
No, plain land we do not take. There are certain restrictions in the asset-backed loan. We do not take the plain lands. It has to be land and building. And that land should be situated within the municipal area. Outside the municipal area, we do not take. Yeah, and it should be SARFAESI compliant. That 2 conditions that is applied. So it should be SARFAESI compliant, it should be land and building, and it should be within the municipal area.
Okay, Shamia Marakar, I think your question is answered.
And this year, you started a new facility, new type of home loan with a guarantee to the buyer. For completion, State Bank is giving some kind of guarantee.
Yeah.
Can you explain that product?
No, in fact, a number of buyers were having the problem whether the project will complete or not once we give the contribution. Okay, once we take a loan. And it so happened that you must have seen in the case of Noida, a large number of builders, particularly reputed builders like JP Infra and all, they left the project midway. Amrapali, JP Infra, they left the project in the midway, and project is not complete. So the buyers were very, very hesitant. And keeping that in mind, the State Bank of India has experimented whereby they have tied up with a builder and given that assurance to the buyer that the completion of the project is assured by State Bank of India. Okay, that is only with one builder we have done so far. But going forward, we might have some more projects coming up. Okay? Yeah. But as you know, the risk is on the part of the bank because bank is taking the. So that's why due diligence has to be done before going into that.
Mehboob, can I ask one more question?
Yeah.
Sir, can you throw some light on the Mudra loans and the collateral-free loan that has just been announced by the Finance Minister? And that's question number one. And question number two is, when is the best time to go for your loans? Because now you are just working out the various schemes. How long will the bank take to freeze whatever has been proposed in the Finance Minister's scheme? My two questions.
Yeah, coming back to first question, okay, the Mudra loans. We have three kinds of Mudra loans. One is the Shishu Mudra loan scheme. Up to 50,000 rupees we give under Shishu Mudra loan. Then there is a Kishore. From 50,000 to 5 lakh rupees, we give the Kishore loan. And then there is a Tarun. 5 lakhs to 10 lakh rupees we give for the Tarun loans. Okay. So these are the three Mudra loan schemes which bank is giving. The ease we have done is for the Shishu loan, we have opened a e-Mudra portal. You simply have to go to the portal, gives your details, and depending on the particulars that you give, you will get a sanction from the portal itself. And then you come to the branch and complete the required documentation and you will be granted the loan of that. Okay. Coming back to your question of how long it will take. Actually, it has just been announced by Finance Minister, and solely that approval of the Cabinet Work Committee is also coming up. And then that guidelines will be issued by the Department of Financial Services. And then it will come to the banks for implementation. So it will all depend on the DFS that how much time it takes in formulation of all these schemes. And then only it will be rolled out by the banks.
Yeah, then this collateral free, what is the highest size of your or larger size of a collateral free loan for MSMEs?
Yeah, in this case, as for the earlier it was 1 crore, but the Finance Minister has a scheme that she has elaborated. She said up to 25 crores.
25
so
crores.
What is going to be the guidelines for taking up this 25 crore or deciding who will...
20% they will get. 25 crores customers are eligible. 20%
20% of the eligible.
20% of the 25 crore. Up to 25 crore customers are eligible. They will get 20% of the eligible.
1 minute, just 1 minute. I'm just coming back. Just 1 minute. Please give me a time. Okay. That guidelines for that is yet to come from the DFS. Once it will come, then we'll decide which project will get, which project will not get that.
So the collateral is the sovereign collateral sovereign guarantee of the government of India. Am I right?
No, it's not a sovereign guarantee. The government simply says that if you give loan under this and if the loan goes bad, they will replenish that amount to the bank.
So that is what a sovereign guarantee is. Am I right?
No, it's not a sovereign guarantee. Sovereign guarantee is issued by letter, but there will be no letter here.
Okay.
Some cooperation is guaranteed.
Yeah, it's just a notification.
Now,
Yeah.
another big concern from the part of the builders, since most of our buyers staying abroad in different countries, and in the current scenario, coming to Kerala for execution of sale agreements or loan agreement is a big issue. And as per the current practice, we have to register the sale agreement within 4 months of its execution. And in the current scenario, it is practically impossible for them to come and execute the agreements.
Yeah.
How do we take this issue forward, or what is the solution? Is there anything, any suggestion from your side to take it to get it over by this?
No, that is not a problem at all. If you're banking with the State Bank of India, that is not a problem at all. Yeah. Because as you know, State Bank of India has 135 branches across 57 countries. So name a country and the State Bank is there. So even in Dubai, we have the office, even in Bahrain, we have the office, even in Qatar, we have the office. So documentation is not an issue at all. We can execute that document in that very country, okay, and bring it here. So not an issue at all.
And the sale agreement also has to be registered. For that, they have to come to Kerala.
1 minute, just 1 minute. No, Mahbub, in this case, what we can do is, he can give a power of attorney in favor of somebody, okay, and that person can execute that documents.
The power of attorney, the problem, they can give only for close relative as per the Kerala rule.
Yeah, yeah.
But most of the cases that those who are eligible to give power of attorney also abroad, generally. That is the major issue. If you can recommend some extension of time instead of this, if we give some undertaking to register within some time period or something like that, you can check with your system. If we can formulate some other way out, that will be a great help for the entire builder community.
No, that's a good suggestion, Mahbub. We'll examine this. Okay, we'll examine. We have noted it. We'll examine this. I think it's possible to do. We'll find out a workaround to this.
What is the timeline for builder loan processing and all? What is your what is the timeline you insist into your regional offices or branches? Within such time you need process all that things. And what is the timeline? What we can expect from your State Bank of India for home loan? We know we have the practice. We know, but in the case of builder loan, Kerala builders, most of them are not yet avail that facility. And since the today's condition that that requires that need for the loan is increased a lot, and everybody is looking for that. Can you explain the process and timeline for that?
No, a process is very easy. That you have to. They will. You contact our RM SME, relationship manager. SME is there in almost all the major centers in Kerala, inside Kerala. Everywhere we have. Okay, you just contact him. He'll give you a list of papers what the bank require for processing of your loan applications. You give them the papers. I think 15 to 20 days is enough, because sanctioning power is different amount is at different level. If it is 3 crore, 5 crore, it is within that area. Regional manager or DGM will have the power. So it can be done in 10 days time. Okay. Beyond that, if it is a large loan, then it goes to a higher authority committee. There it takes some time. But it all depends that when are you giving all the papers which they require. Because sometimes what happens, some paper you give, and for some other papers you say that I need some time. So although you say that you have given the papers to the bank, but full paper is not there, and they can't proceed. Say title deed, certain papers are very, very essential for processing. But if you give one paper, I think it's easier done, should not take much time.
We can expect, if it's already a SBI approved project or for the non-home loan purpose, SBI approved project, we can expect within a month's time.
Within a month's time, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, within a month's time. Outer limit, absolutely.
And can you share that contact list to, if you can suggest somebody to share the contact person's list to CREDAI, we can circulate to our members and they can in turn contact the prospective city officers.
Sure. In fact, we have a very elaborate arrangement. Almost every major center we have posted RMSMEs, Relationship Manager SME, and they have the expertise in processing these loan documents. So we'll share that list with you. We'll also share the people, regional managers in that area, so that if you have any issues, you kindly contact them. And otherwise, you can contact me also anytime you have any issues. You can contact me.
Mehboob, can I come in?
Yeah.
Sir, now there are processing charges and or you call due diligence charges. For project loans, under whatever name it is, what will be your typical processing charge?
It is 1%. Processing charge is 1% of the loan amount.
And is there any, I think that is subject to negotiations, or I'm talking about CREDAI as an institution having so many builders. Can't we have a special rate for CREDAI members?
I think it's project to project basis. We can consider there are various authorities for this, for giving that waiver, individual loans. So that we can consider, not an issue we can consider. But problem is, if you can guarantee that yes, you will give the food to me and my family members at your place, we can reduce it substantially.
Okay.
Babu?
Yeah. Any other members? We can, I think we can allow few questions. Those who can raise hands, we can allow only.
Babu, I think I'll start with a couple of questions.
Can you start?
Hello?
Yeah, you can start.
Okay. In between, I had some audio issues, so I don't know, whether I've missed out something and whether it is a repetition. But then I'm just coming back to the announcements by the finance minister. We had a 10% additional working capital, which was announced by Nirmala Sitharaman in her first, tranche of the incentives, or rather the package when she announced it. Now the question that I have is, subsequently there was an MSME scheme which talks about a 3 lakh crore rupee, amount being dispersed as a guaranteed emergency credit line fund. Now, this 10%, these two things are different, or is it the same? Or in the second announcement, whether the first announcement gets absorbed, or is it a separate scheme by itself?
Your microphone is muted.
Mine?
No, his microphone is muted.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, can I go ahead?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, one scheme is that if you have a working capital limit with the banks, the 20% of that limit will be given by the banks without any additional collateral at a lower rate of interest, 7.25%. It will be given to you. Okay. Before this came, I think State Bank has already initiated, because of this COVID crisis, that we started asking our customers that 10% of the limit will give without any collateral and immediate sanction, without any paperwork, no documentation. Okay. And we had around 12,000 accounts in the state of Kerala. And almost everyone we have given either the actual sanction or the pre-approved loans of 10% we had given. It is just the extension of that. Instead of 10%, is a 20%. So anybody having a limit with any bank, 20% of that you will get without much sanction process and without much documentation at a lower rate of interest.
Does it mean
that is one scheme.
That's my eligibility, or is it that it is at the discretion of the bank?
No, it's done. It's done. No discretion there. 20% you will get all that.
Okay, right.
Mehboob, can I come in?
Please.
Yeah, Hasim, you can ask. Yeah.
I have two questions for the CGN.
Yeah.
The first is, you said that whether property developers or builders come under MSME, that you are awaiting confirmation on that front. If at all we come under this MSME, what are the benefits as builders that we will get? That is my question number one. Second is, you also mentioned that regarding collaterals, it should be within municipality limits. But in a state like Kerala, I think you should consider, okay, because it's a larger metropolitan, the whole of Kerala, okay, most of the property is commercial, sometimes maybe outside the metropolitan limits, municipal limits, but it is actually as big as these municipalities. So could for Kerala, could we have a special deviation as far as collaterals within municipality limits is concerned?
Yeah, can I come?
Yeah.
So as you said that this announcement has come, but the formal communication is yet to come from the DFS. Once it comes, then more clarity will be there that how we can take it. Okay. But regarding this MSME builders coming into MSME has got certain privileges by the government. First of all, to begin with, I think rate of interest is regulated. It's slightly lower. There are certain schemes under which the subvention is allowed. Whether the builder will have that subvention or that is yet we are waiting for the guidelines from DFS. Okay, but a number of benefits will accrue once you become the MSME. The detailed guidelines we are awaiting. Once it comes, then I think things will be clear in that.
Mehboob, can I come in?
Yeah,
I just want to clarify one point.
My second question was not answered.
Second question. Sir, he again asked, see, currently only municipalities and corporations come under your limit, that loan. Yeah. But Kerala, lot of important areas are outside the municipal limits. What can we do in case of Kerala for that?
In fact, to tell you very frankly, this loan that we are giving, asset-backed loan, we don't insist for activity and all, because it's basically the valuation and the realizability of the security that we are keeping in the banks on that basis. Okay. So why municipal limits is because the valuation is slightly assured if it is within the municipal limits. And the selling part of it, once the banks require to sell it, the sellability increases if it is within the municipality limits. So that's why bank has given these limits. The problem in Kerala is that enforcing SARFAESI is literally a problem. And there are so many groups working here who do not want that SARFAESI Act should be invoked. Okay, so banks are really finding it difficult for enforcing of the Security Act with the properties that they have as a mortgage. So that is why I think going outside the municipal limit may not be acceptable to the bank as well.
If there is any possibility to reconsider the adjoining towns, panchayats coming near to the municipalities, or considering the case-to-case cases or something like that?
We can take up. Can't assure you as of now, but we can take up that.
Yeah.
We can take up that. Yes.
Yeah. Krishna, you can go.
Yeah. Mehboob, the clarification what I wanted to give was, real estate has already been classified as an MSME. It is already there, I think, since many years. But the good thing is now the classification, the range has been redefined. I can send you the order from Government of India where real estate has already been classified as an MSME.
You are right, Mr. Krishna Kumar, that it was in MSME, but that invested in plant and machinery and other criteria which are there. That has been liberalized in this current announcement of the finance minister. She has liberalized the criteria. Earlier, the service sector and manufacturing sector has separate criteria. So that she has clubbed these two.
And yeah, but real estate was included as part of the service enterprise.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But not many people are coming because the criteria was very stiff earlier.
Yeah.
But she has liberalized that.
That's
liberalized that criteria.
With all the criteria, most of the builders are not eligible, was not eligible in that criteria. But now with the extended limits of turnover, 100 crore, most of them will come in Kerala, most of the builders will come under the MSME definition. Earlier,
Yes.
very few people were coming under the definition. That's why you are not getting any inquiry in that area.
Yeah, Babu, we have really literally hit the nail. That was the issue. Earlier, they were not coming, but with this enlargement in the scope of MSME, I think almost all the builders will come in Kerala.
Yeah.
Babu, I have one more question on the MSME. It's a follow-up one.
Yeah.
The limit is now, for the credit guarantee scheme, emergency, credit line, it is mentioned as 25 CR and 100 rupee turnover. Sorry, 100 crore turnover. It is mentioned that the outstanding credit as on 29th February need to be 25 crore. My question to CGM is it the total limit including non-fund based, or is it the fund based limit?
This is total limit. Both fund based and non-fund based taken together. Total limit.
And is it again, let's say I have a facility of let's say 40 crores.
Yeah.
But I have availed up to now, as on 29th February, if I have availed only 25 crores, sorry, or less than 25 crores, am I eligible?
No, they say that limit should be 25 crores. That limit should be 25 crores.
Sanction
Not the
limit.
outstanding, not the outstanding. Because outstanding keeps changing. 25 crore of outstanding, up to 25 crore of outstanding.
So it covers both fund-based and non-fund-based.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay.
We can have one or two questions. If anybody want to ask directly the question, can raise the hands through the software. Yeah. Sedu, you can unmute Padma. Padma, you can ask.
Still, yeah. So there was a scheme announced last year by the finance minister, especially for the real estate industry, the 25,000 crore package. Is it still? We don't know anyone who has received it. So is the scheme still on? Can we apply in that category also?
Are you talking about Swami?
Yeah, he seems to be talking about Swami.
Okay,
that's 24,000.
Yeah, it was regarding the stall projects, and there are certain conditions to that stall projects. SBI cap has been identified to sort out the eligible projects which can be financed there, and based on that, the government gives it. So recently I was talking to SBI cap. He says that hardly 10% of that 25,000 crore has been utilized so far, because there are certain conditions attached to that, and that has to be fulfilled, and then the government gives that.
For the information of CGM, in fact, we are in touch with SAMI funds. We are in touch with Mr. Irfan Qazi. And for the information of our members, in case if you have any such requirements, please get in touch with our secretariat, please. We are in touch.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sir, one more question regarding the SWAMIH fund. If there is any existing SBI loan, even if it is defaulted, will you be joint hands with SBI CAPS for a SWAMIH further funding? Is there any direction from the State Bank regarding that?
No, point is that if he is a defaulter, his project is stalled, and that's why he has become a defaulter. Okay. Yeah. So let him clear that, and then I think we'll go ahead to the next project.
The SWAMIH fund people says, even without clearance, if the bank agrees, they can give.
Provided the project is net positive.
Yeah.
I think that the projects in Kerala may not be eligible because it said that it should be approved by the RERA. And RERA came only recently in Kerala. So the other projects which are there, which has been installed and which are earlier there, that may not be a RERA approved project. So I think Kerala builders may not be eligible for that.
No, what they suggest, SBI CAPS people, what they suggest, we can get the registration now for this purpose. Anyway, Kerala already registration started, and if we get a registration, they are willing.
Yeah. Okay, Babu, I'll check on that with SBI CAP and come back to you. Your secretary. Okay. Yes. Data secretary, come back.
Mehboob, I've got a question.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Das, Lava here from SFS Homes. Hello, are you able to listen?
Yeah, I'm able to listen to you. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
See what happens when this, when the times go bad, many people lose their jobs. That is what is happening in the Gulf. See, I'm just giving a triple example where, somebody say, just for the figures to be easy, somebody says buying a flat for 50 lakhs. He has paid, say, 10 lakhs from his hand. And the bank has given 25 lakhs. So he has paid about 35 lakhs out of 50. And the building is 95% complete. And the 2 months for delivery. He then comes up and says, I have lost my job. I can't continue. I can't afford to service the loan. I want to exit. Or he doesn't even reply to your mail because he wants a house, but he does not know how to finance for it. He just keeps quiet. The bank will start asking the builder, either you give me the sale deed, he has to pay 15 lakhs more, bank has paid 25, he has paid 10. Then the whole thing is in a jam. The building is complete or ready for OC. Then what will happen in that case? The money given by both the client and the bank has been used to complete the building. We already got, say, an OC for the building also has been got.
But please repeat the question. I didn't get. Please repeat it once again.
That is, a man has bought a flat for 50 lakhs 2 years back. He has put in 10 lakhs. The bank has given 25 lakhs. Totally 30 lakhs has been paid to the builder. The building is now complete with an OC got. Unfortunately, the guy has lost his job or his salary has come down. He is unable to proceed. He is telling now cancel. The money has already been spent in completing the building with an OC. How do you take it forward now? RERA says return in 45 days. The building is complete, the money has been spent.
In this case, normally we'll have to find a new buyer for that loan.
Yeah, new buyer, correct.
You have to find a new buyer. There are two ways of doing it. One is that bank can auction that. Bank can ask for the money. If the money is not received, it can auction that, and whosoever buyers takes it. Because remember, he also had spent 10 lakhs rupees. Okay.
He has put bank at 25, builder 15 lakhs is there.
So 10 lakhs he has also spent. So definitely the valuation will be much higher than what a new buyer can expect for.
But
so we have to find a new buyer, and through them we can resolve this issue.
No, builder has to get 15 lakhs.
That's what I'm saying. The new buyer which is going to come, he should be ready to pay to the builder also that much of amount.
Yeah, see, what happened? You should give us time. You can't say do it in 20 days, 30 days, and who's to pay the backlog of interest? This which the client has not paid. You understood? You should give time.
I got your point. I got your point. What we can do is, if a new buyer is there, okay, who is, we can also finance the new buyer for purchase of this house. Suppose you get a new buyer, okay, we are ready to finance that buyer if he has the eligibility for the remaining amount also, so that his loan amount will increase. Okay.
That is basically a new buyer
he can pay through the builder. Yeah, he can pay.
No, that is not the way. Okay.
And basically, I mean, that's the only way to solve the problem. You can't catch the builder by his throat.
Right.
No, I agree. So what I'm saying is, a new buyer, we can give them additional loan so that he can pay the builder also, and he can get that house also. Because even then it will be a win-win proposition for him, because 10 lakhs the earlier party has already paid. So it's going to be a win-win situation for him.
Rava, that's an ideal case. Now, suppose if you are able to sell it or find a new customer immediately, yes. Now, in case if there is a delay, if there is a glut in the market, and if there is a delay, then what are we going to do? That was your question, right?
Yeah, that's my question.
A bank will take over.
Bank will take over. How the sale deed? Sale deed has not been done. See, what I'm telling is, bank should pay the balance and take over. Bank should take over. Bank should pay the builder 15 lakhs and take over. We don't mind. This situation, Mr. Das, this situation will be very common. I'm wait and see now.
I'm sure. Yes.
Don't think it's a thing. It will now, at least every month, you will get 50 such cases now.
I fully agree, because a lot of job losses are happening. So situation is not looking good.
See, why I'm telling you, just see what who think the resale might take 2 months, 3 months. So another guy should come. Builder himself will have some stock to sell. So builder will try to sell his stock. No, not resale. And I'm just telling, this is a situation which is going to be there, and you just think about how this can be handled without just putting it on the builder one day, write out the check.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll ponder over this. That's a good feedback.
Just tell me, with all over the state, you will have even if the guy is building on his own, halfway through he might decide, no, my job is gone, or I thought I'll sell some other property and bring the next one. So this jam situation will be there, and even a guy building his own house.
No, absolutely. I agree with you.
Okay.
It's going to be a real problem.
Just think over it, please.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that.
Christopher, if you want to anything add, otherwise we will, I think the most questions are more or less covered. We will close. If you want to anything add?
Yeah, but I have to ask him, and once all the questions are over, I have to ask him an academic question.
Yeah.
He knows what I have to ask him. It's more to do with because SBI, we know, is the largest bank in the country. I am again trying to repeat, LIBOR is only 0 to 1. And SBI, see, these are extraordinary situations. We had to come out of it. Whether Kerala builder, I have been seeing what the rest of India is doing. Rest of India is actually, they are pulling their hairs what to do. They don't know what to do because most of the people are left high and dry. The liquidity is much worse than the Kerala market. Kerala is a much smaller market compared to the rest of the country. So I'm again asking you, when the repo rate is 4, that is the deposit given by the RBI to the bank is only 4, and reverse repo which the banks give to RBI when they have excess fund is only 3.5. Why can't banks give that money to the lend money to the applicants at a much lower rate, so that I'm not talking about long term, a short term, a bridge loan to come out of this pandemic. This is something I have always wondered, why banks are not coming to save the situation. This is not like a subprime crisis of the 2008. That was a totally different ballgame. In the subprime, what happened is they were giving top-up loans which no applicant could ever repay. That is a totally different ballgame. You can't compare the subprime of 2008 where Lehman Brothers and all those people broke. That's a totally different ballgame. Indian banks are so conservative, so very conservative. I'm awestruck. Why can't you bring down the interest rate by at least 2 to 3%? Maybe something like for project loans, something like 6, and for housing loans, why can't it be 4 to 5%? You are giving it 3.5 to Reserve Bank just for safekeeping. Can I get an answer, or maybe can you just give me an academic answer to that?
Yeah, can I come back?
Yeah, please. No, again, one more thing. Indian economy, as you know, is under heavy deflationary pressure now. So you don't have to worry about inflation. And equally important is SARFAESI is totally loaded in favor of the banks, except for stray incidents, what has happened in suburbs of Trivandrum. I think SARFAESI is totally loaded in favor of the banks. With all these factors, I have often wondered, I still wonder why you can't come down to the interest rates.
Yeah, so I'll give you the banker's perspective. Okay,
Yeah,
you have a fixed deposit with the State Bank of India by 7%. If I tell you that I can't give you 7%, you take it 5%. Will you take it?
No, that is not my question.
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that.
No, sir, that's a different question. You have put money at 3.5% with RBI. So, all your excess funds you have put with RBI at 3.5%. That amount, instead of the RBI, why can't you disperse it among the larger population at a slightly higher rate? That's all my question is.
I'm coming to that only. What happens is that being a bank, you are the custodian of the money of the customers. Okay. Customers like Krishna Kumar, customer like Babu, we are the custodian of the money. Okay. And we have already contracted a fixed rate of interest. Maybe 5%, 6%, 7%. We have already contracted them. Although that fixed deposit is already available to us. And whenever Mr. Krishna Kumar wants his money back, we have to give him the money at 7% rate of interest. Okay. So despite the fact that RBI is ready to give us at 4%, since I'm already flush with funds, earlier deposits, fixed deposit at 6%, 7%, okay, I don't need fresh deposit from RBI. So what happens is I have to pay to Mr. Krishna Kumar 7%, which I had contracted some 3 years back. And that contract is still valid. So if I offer Mr. Krishna Kumar that now that I'm going to give a cheaper loans at 4%, you take at 4% or 5%. You will not agree for that. You need the original contracted rate for your deposits. Okay, so that bank has to maintain. The second thing is that a lot of loan that we get that goes bad, NPA. How do you account for that? Because if I call Mr. Krishna Kumar that since so-and-so borrower has not repaid to me, you don't ask your money, your fixed deposit. Will you agree for this? If yes, I have no issues. We can do that. But point is, so banker's perspective, you have to understand.
My question is totally different. My question is...
Your question, I understood your question. Your question is saying that instead of keeping it at 3.75% with RBI, why don't you give it to somebody at 5%?
Absolutely.
Okay, but the risk that I have is, if I keep it at RBI, I don't have any risk. 3.7% I get back. I don't have any risk. But if I am lending to somebody else at 5%, that risk I am always carrying, whether he will repay that loan or not. Because NPA being very high in India, particularly in Kerala, it's very high in Kerala. Okay, the bankers say, yesterday I was telling you, this NPA in MSME loan, Mudra loan, is 30%.
Is it?
No, 30%. Ooh. So with 30% NPA, whom do you lend? I want to lend to MSME. I want to lend Mudra. But if NPA is so high, where can you lend? That is the question people will have to answer. Because right now, I am finding that what is happening is that in Kerala, you have business running, you are affording all the luxury, but not paying to the bank. There are certain borrowers like this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so with one more last question.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Najib is raising his hand. Mehboob, Dr. Najib is raising his hand.
Yeah. One more last question from Najib. We will close this.
Mr. Das, I'm Najib here.
Yes.
Interesting what all you are talking about. What is the, connected to what you just mentioned, what is the risk weightage for real estate? And is it different for state-wise, which the RBI, either RBI gives direction, and based on which the security, higher security is asked for from different developers for project finance? Now, obviously, home loan risk weightage is lower, and hence you have a lower cost of funds. Has it changed? And second part of the question is, has the risk weightage reduced or has it increased for real estate? Thank you.
In fact, the real estate is very high. Risk weight for real estate is 150% as of now.
Can it change, or will, considering COVID, is it going to come down, the risk weightage, or are you going to add to the risk weightage?
No, risk weight is fixed by Reserve Bank of India on the various products. Okay. It's the Reserve Bank of India fixes the risk weight, and bank has to comply with this.
So it's the same.
So I think any change has to be from the Reserve Bank of India.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Das, all your colleagues, and all from members from different chapters of CREDAI. I thank all of you for the wonderful session, and hopefully we will have a long-lasting relationship with the State Bank of India. I request the members, we will circulate the contact details of the State Bank officials in different cities. You can contact them for housing builder finance, and please support State Bank of India for housing loan and other loans. Thank you, sir, once again. With this, we will close the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Babu. Thank you, Krishna Kumar. Thank you, all the builders. I think it is really nice on your part to have invited me for this program, and I thoroughly enjoyed this program. So I hope that in COVID situation, we'll have similar occasions when we will interact online, if not physically. So I must thank you, and it was very interesting. I must thank all the people who participated in this program. Thank you so much.
I have a small suggestion before you leave. I have a small suggestion.
Please.
And to Mr. Das.
Yeah.
So I think many of our members have understood what all kind of products that we have, and I think they'll have a lot more questions like Lava asked. In many cases it could be practical issues which we are finding it very difficult to resolve. So I think unless we have one more round of follow-up discussion, I'm not talking about a webinar. We'll ask our members whether they do have similar questions, and maybe we will have a follow-up meeting with the office bearers one of these days, maybe within a span of 2 weeks, if it is okay with you.
Yeah, so nice of you. I'm always available. Anytime you need me, I'm available. And I think the more the interaction will be, the more the clarity will be there.
Sure.
So for relationship, it's very essential that we should be open to each other. So I must thank you once again, and I'm always available. Anytime you need me, I'm there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.